I'm going to try to convince my wife to make it. It's so nice to put it on our lawn, because we're killing our lawn. It's
Get a spray an artery.
No, they have an article. You go.
Carl.
Down in Campbell.
Yeah.
Just spray your,
Yeah.
Carl, just spray your lawn. Green.
I just put the boys on that.
Yeah, we're supposed to make a vote today.
Yeah, they started yesterday, they're going on today. I wasn't privy to it, was a call from somebody who I think went to the first one. I mean, they actually asked me, they don't exactly know, but the governor told us to do something, this is what they're going
In fact,
to
it's
do.
actually what I
I mean,
told
for an agency that hasn't done what we've done,
So we're trying to make it work in that fund.
you might say, mud, not chicken, you know.
Yeah.
They don't have.
Last week.
They said we want to do more than that, I make everyone aware.
Good evening.
Don't wait back.
I'm District Secretary Nancy Gamble Hatfield. It's Tuesday, July 15th, 2014. This is a regular meeting of the Dublin San Bernardino Services District Board of Directors. Presiding this evening is President Georgine Von Peter Leopold.
Call the meeting to order. Please join me in the pledge to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call Nancy.
Director Benson.
Here.
Director Halpert.
Here.
Director Howard.
Here.
President Von Peter Leopold.
Here. Special announcement. Public comment. This is the time when any member of the public can address the board on any item that's not on the agenda. You're the only member of the public present. Do you have anything to say?
I do, but I'll hold it.
Okay. Okey dokey. We move on to item 6, reports by the general manager and staff.
Yes, President Von Peter Leopold, members of the board, I'll be brief. Event calendar, I would just like to report that for the last couple of weeks, the district's customers have been using, on a week-by-week basis, at least 25%. I think the numbers are 30 to 35% less water this year than they did last year. And perhaps more importantly, since the board went to mandatory water use limitations on May 5th, we are now at, from that point forward, 25% less water this year than we had last year. So I think we're doing pretty well. We're trying to strike a fine balance with enforcement of water use limitations and aggressive promoting of recycled water, etc. I think we're kind of doing a pretty good job. I'm pretty happy with it at this point in time. Of course, we have 8 to 10 more weeks of summer hot temperatures. In terms of correspondence to and from the board, there's only been one since your last board meeting. That is an email of July 14th from Armstrong Sue to the Board of Directors regarding our drought complaints acted upon. We're working with customer services staff to respond. And we'll copy the response to that. And that's all I have.
Anything that needs to be moved around on the agenda?
Not this past.
No committee reports. Approval of the minutes of July 1st.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
I'd just like to have one correction considered. On page 3, fifth line up from the bottom, page 4, fifth line up from the bottom. We have the reporter's name as Lauren Anthony, and it's Laura.
Well, I'll amend my motion to reflect that.
And I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes with one change. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion unanimously carried. Item 8, consent calendar. These are items that are typically adopted with one motion. They're non-controversial. However, any member of the audience or the board can pull an item for discussion.
I'd like to move for approval of items 8A, B, and C.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the items on the consent calendar 8A through C. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion unanimously carried. Item 9, board business. Item A, discuss drought management program.
Yes, President Von Heater and members of the board, this is our standing item that will keep on the agenda during the extended community drought emergency that allows any member of the public to address the board on any aspect of the drought program that we have in place.
Anybody that wishes to discuss anything?
Two quick things. One, my little informal neighborhood tour from my house in here. We're all very brown, only 2 green ones. I'm going to make the assumption that they found a way to save water, get it recycled, so everybody's doing well in my neighborhood. I'm really glad we hit our marks. There's a balance here between hitting our marks and enforcing. The fact that we hit our marks without having a bunch of people be very angry with us, I think it tests that we can have well staffed to handle this thing.
I have to say, I've received a lot of kudos from various people around the Tri-Valley about how well we seem to be doing it. We're out there leading, and of course I give my little, rah to the little district that could. But the fact is that, we seem to be doing a really good job that people are thankful for, even with the few that we have penalized. I think they all realize how serious it is. We don't have anybody in our neighborhood with a green lawn, but I did hear from a client who lives 3 doors down from a former director who just filled his pool, and it's not Pat, and he told the neighbors it was East Bay mud water. And I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, except my client knows who it is, and she wanted me to tell her how he got East Bay mud water to his house.
So noted. That's my department.
One question for I know we've been having a hard time getting the sharing of metrics with the other jurisdictions going. Is there any update on that? How are you using your neighbors? What's going on about why?
It's better than it was, but it's not consistent. It's not. Everybody's using a different metric. Everybody's reporting it on a different cycle, on a different day of the week. I think my vision was originally to have sort of one web page that we would jointly host that would have everybody's information up there. That is not going to happen. We were hoping so. 7 would provide that information. They have done all provide that information to us. Retailers are the same. They're all on different schedules, using different ways to measure the mile. But that's not to say nobody's talking to each other every Monday morning. I send out my report on our metrics to everybody else. And very quickly after that, I'll get a report from water as to how we're doing. So it's not like nobody's sharing with anybody, but it's just not working.
And they all do that as us.
Yeah, if you account for different ways they have to measure in different periods of time. One of the, I think, cool pieces of, one of the cool tools we're going to have go live, I hope this week, is a little calculator on our website that will allow, so there's a question, well, how much did you save? Well, that's an easy answer. Well, if you say, well, I don't like you going from May 5th, I want you to go from, January 15th, I want you to go from my birthday, whatever. We have a cool calculator that lets you put in 2 days, and it will calculate the percent change in water use from 2014 to 2011, 2012, 2013, or the average of all of those as compared to that same period in 2014. We should go live. I was able to test some of the work today. We'll go live with that. So if anybody says, hey, they don't want me reporting from May 5th onward, they can do everything they want.
That tool is just awesome. I told everybody about that tool. I think it's a great. It's like we are so ahead of the game. That's so refreshing.
And one of the things, a couple of
And
people
the
asked me how the state board is doing on the hearings up in Sacramento. The answer to that quickly is they were still talking. As I was walking in this evening, the meeting started at 10 o'clock this morning. The state water managers. And one of the things they spent a very long period of time talking about was the reporting by the water agencies, because they're not getting the reporting as the water agencies are doing. Measuring. And their staff wants to go to gallons per capita per day. Here you got two variables, or three variables, what time frame, how much water, and how many people, before you get to how many people statistic. They must have spent about an hour and a half talking about that. So the problem we're talking about now is just not our knowledge, but sort of systemic throughout the state. Because you get frustrated a lot of people out there. So you can't tell how you're doing. How can you measure success rate?
Yeah, how many people for us would be difficult, wouldn't it? And we don't know how many people are
No,
actually.
it's difficult. We have some metrics. We start with the Department of Finance numbers, and we adjust those based on the growth rate and the needs in the district, et cetera. But for us, it's complicated because the Department of Finance kind of is ranking report. They do not report the population in the correctional facilities, but they report, and they also do not report the reservists that come in the camp folks. So we start talking about numbers of people, it's like, well, how do you count that? You know, it's not as simple, it's not a very simple way to get the data. And of course, the Department of Finance only releases the data once every year, and then how do you make adjustments mid-year? It's not as simple as.
Maybe what'll come out of this is that we'll all be forced to report in a similar manner.
Well, that's what they were talking about. What is that similar manner? And said very, unfortunately, they're heading to gallons per capita today, which I think is wrong. I think they should do it just on, 2013 to 2014, pick a date range and just go from there.
Is there any way in our calculator that we can actually have individual, or, a number of people in the house?
We have,
So people could figure out their actually per person.
well, this is, maybe I misspoke. This is not per person usage for this period of time. This is system-wide use of the district. So if somebody asks me, how is the district doing as compared to the governor's desired 20% reduction 2015 to 2014? First question you have to ask is what period, what year do you want to compare us to? That's what I would do. This doesn't compare the person, it doesn't compare your individual usage. You'd have to do that right now manually for water.
Our bills do say gallons per day.
It's
Just
quite-
up to you.
Yeah, you would have to figure it out. Alcohol. They is very cooperative, making changes to their report in response to things we would like to see. You can't say they're very cooperative. But there's only so many hours in a day. So
Okay.
Also, when they come in, staff on the signs, lots of signs. Everybody that have asked me for signs, so I'm sending them all down. I was at a concert in the park the other night, and people had a booth there, and they were going to come in and get signs.
we have enough. We have to ask one of you folks to make sure that we should have enough.
Which signs are they taking?
The-
Dry yard signs?
The dry, California
We're
dry.
getting a little bit low on them, but the number of signs we had going out, it slowed down quite a bit, so we were waiting to see when we needed to be ordered.
I have some more people that want signs.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
and I
we're down to
think,
8 left, so we'll probably have.
yeah, because I think having some outreach maybe at the farmer's market, which seems to be getting bigger and bigger, once a month or once every couple of weeks might be really beneficial with the signs, so. once
And
we
the
get-
city's doing a concert in the park
Yes.
coming up too.
They just did them Sunday. So I had a booth there. I'm happy to take and hand that stuff out at the museum booth. So that's a free way. I'm there with the museum, and so we're happy to hand those out on behalf of the save some stuff.
Okay, any other discussion regarding the drought? All right.
Madam President, if I'd just like to share something that came up in a meeting of a different public agency last week. And I thought I wanted to report to you that this was a sort of a feel-good moment. Somebody came and asked the Davis Sanitary District why they don't do what DSRSD is doing and providing recycled water for their customers to use in their yards. We went through and explained, well, we don't have recycled water capabilities.
Yeah.
and But it was a very nice thing. It was something I wanted to make sure you all heard.
It's just amazing at how far out our name is now.
We've got inquiries from Central Contra Costa Sanitary District over the Yahoo San Antonio District. I'll put the Dale on my list right now, as well as Andy.
Santa Clara Valley.
Santa Clara Valley Water District. And tomorrow, and we were trying to figure out how this is going to work, NPR, National Public Radio, is going to be treatment plant at the recycle landfill station. And we're not quite sure how that works with just audio on the radio.
Gurgling sounds. Oh, thank you, Carl. Yeah, that's what I've experienced too, is that suddenly everybody understands the name and who we are, and we're the ones that are giving people water. So it's really great. Thank you, Dan.
Yes, thank you, Dan. We're so proud.
Okay, 9B, public hearing, adopt engineer's report and direct levy an annual assessment in the Dorter Valley Standby Charge District 2001-1 for fiscal year 2014-15. Okay, let's have our report from staff first.
President Bonita Leopold, board members, this is the annual report on the Doherty Valley Standby Assessment District. The parcel assessment is the same as the prior year, the max amount, and there's no real changes between last and this year. The full report, the engineer's report, is included in the packet. If there's any questions, we can ask them.
Any questions?
We've gone through this a number of times. So I would move for approval.
Okay, wait a
Before we do
minute.
that, we need to do a public hearing.
I'll open the public hearing. Any public comments?
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that we close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion unanimously carried.
And so now, I will move for approval.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve by resolution the annual assessment for the Doherty Valley standby charge. All in favor?
Before we vote,
One of us has to, my voice is pretty, right? One of us needs to give the annual speech when we do this, that this is not our church. This is a zone set up pass-through. That by virtue of the way their values are drawn, they cannot assess this charge themselves. You're really passing it through. It's not our church, not our tax, not our levy, not our money. Please come back and forth.
Thank you, Rich. So noted. Did you get all of that? Okay. Now, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion unanimously carried. Okay, item number 10, submittal of written reports. Anyone have any reports?
I have nothing.
Okay, I do. Actually, a couple. From the LAFCO meeting, our application to change our boundary to serve, I'm sorry, not change our boundary, to be out of service area was amended such that we had to include a statement that should we ever ask Mr. Nielsen to annex, he will agree to it. And Bert wasn't there, I don't think, at that time, but nobody seemed to object to it. Mr. Nielsen didn't seem to object, so that's how it went through, which I assume isn't a big deal because we've already said we aren't going to annex unless the city does. So
we will have to bring that agreement back to reapprove the agreement.
With the-
Okay.
okay.
And then once we we'll sign it. He said he's conceptually okay with it. Of course, each one of them will see it.
And his attorney hadn't seen the actual language either, so, yeah. The second thing was I attended the Alameda County Special Districts Association meeting last Wednesday. It was actually held here. And we were going to have Lieutenant Colonel Curtis there, and he was very sick with a cold, so we sort of winged it, and good old staff, when we had a presentation about the lack of water and how we get it and how come we're so bad, because most of the other districts that are on, well, all the other districts that are on the other side of the hill don't necessarily understand our supply. So we did that, and then we did a presentation on Aquahawk. So again, we have an opportunity to show it off to people, and they were jotting down notes, so everybody just seems to love it. Additionally, let's see, the LAPCO report, the East Bay Regional Advisory, the legislative report, which some of you may have read, the state included $100 million in their state budget, starting to pay back some of the money they began to take in 2004. And we got $8,000 of that, so, we can't spend it all in one place. But I thought, how appropriate, we might be able to spend it on OpenGov.
I'd like to credit Nancy, after the first staff for doing that. It's, in some ways, it's a thankless chore. You don't see the results of it. But I think the money we got back was earmarked for the district back in about 2004. So, it's a long time for to see the money come back. But that money was thanks to the senior staff.
Yeah, I think the state hoped that everybody would just quit reporting. And I guess the cities, and thank you, Nancy, for us, they didn't stop reporting. They kept hoping someday it would come through. So it's payback of money they took. And then we, of course, had the minutes approved, and we had election of Alameda County Special District Association officers. And our new president is Roland Williams, and our vice president is Pat Danielson from Washington Township Hospital, and I'm the new director at large. So, thank you. So, anyway, I don't think I have anything more from that meeting.
The only thing I would suggest, President Bonner, is if you would, it looks like we have the agenda from the meeting there, if you would sign and date it, I think that suffices for the report that you're supposed to turn in today.
I already wrote it.
Oh,
I
well,
wrote
then
it.
turn it to everyone then. I'll try to make it like-
Thank you, but I panicked this afternoon. Okay, any other items from any other board members? All right, then the meeting is adjourned to closed session. This time, the board will be going into closed session for two closed sessions items on the agenda. While this board meeting will continue, this broadcast will be stopped at this time because it is anticipated there will be no report from closed session. If there is a report, it will be announced at the open session at the end of the board meeting. If you are interested in what report out is made, please contact Nancy Hatfield during regular district business hours for that information. Thank you very much, and we hope you have a nice evening.